are at Harpers Ferry National Historical Park in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. We're going to be hiking today. I got my walking stick I got from the Renaissance Fair and a new hiking backpack. Went to Sierra the other day and got some new hiking stuff. Decided to do this. Got myself an annual pass for this park so I could park anytime. It's only $35, 15 more than the regular parking, so I thought that would be a great idea. Maybe we can come back here some more. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about doing this today. Never taken a hiking trip before, so this will be the first one. All right, let's get started.
This shuttle bus ride winds down to the banks of the Shenandoah River on the way to the historic town of Harpers Ferry below.
Got off the shuttle bus here and now we are finally in Harpers Ferry. Really just a beautiful town, very old and historic. You if you're wanting to come here, you typically park at the visitor center and then you take a shuttle bus down to the downtown area. We've got some very old railroad tracks and neat bookstores and good stores and some old museums, and of course those just amazing views at the top of the mountains, which is where I'm trying to get today. Hopefully we get there. I stopped by one of these museums. Provost Marshal Military District of Harpers Ferry. So they got some halt, show your pass. Very old stuff in here, some old Confederate and Union weapons and things like that. Very old staircase, keeping the wolf at the door. Very interesting. We have a historic recreation of a dry goods store. Quite amazing. See all the winding streets that they have go way down there, full of shops and all kinds of great things. Harpers Ferry, if you ever get the chance, is just a gem here in this kind of tri-state corridor area with Virginia and West Virginia and Maryland. Just an excellent place. Even have views of what it looked like in 1886 and what it looks like now. Incredible. You can't talk about the history of Harpers Ferry without talking about the famous John Brown Revolution. They stood up to the evils of slavery, and 21 men gave their lives. They have this historical tablet here to commemorate what happened that day. Very old buildings. Seen this view a couple of times in my life, but it really just never gets old. Look at those gorgeous mountains. Just awesome. We'll be getting a long trek up those mountains, and hopefully I can make it to that overlook up there. I'm not in the best of shape, but I'm sure as hell gonna try. At the start of the Maryland Heights Trail, kind of this flat area that you walk down these stairs, and lots of bikers start their journeys here. Nice flat area for biking. Into these large railroad tracks. That's a very old house over there. You always wonder when you see things like that who used to live there and what they did. I'm sure you could look it up. There's plenty of historical knowledge about this site, so. Nice place to stop and get some video. rushing waters of the Shenandoah River. And here we are at the real start of the Maryland Heights Trail. It's going to be a great day. Stopped here at the Maryland Heights. Well, this is not the Maryland Heights, about 5-10 minutes up the trail. Already pretty. All the way up to the Naval Battery. You can see where they dug it out and would have placed cannons and entrenchments and stuff like that. Kind of a basic structure there. This was in 1863, 300 feet above the Potomac River. You can definitely see where they still dug it out. Almost made it to the end of the Overlook Trail here at Harpers Ferry National Park. So we're getting a move on. Saw a placard earlier that said this hike was about an hour and a half. Seems about right. I think it said it was about 2 miles, something like that. I'm definitely worked hard, but it's not the worst it's ever been. I'm on the downslope now towards the overlook, so it'll be a lot easier going down. We have almost made it. I can see the overlook there. We actually made it. Look at that incredible view. Just amazing. Harpers Ferry down below, the bridges. We're gonna get closer to the edge, but look at how amazing that is. A little closer to the edge here. Look at that incredible view. Maryland is a beautiful state, and Harpers Ferry is just the most gorgeous little town. You see those people over there have got a prime sitting spot. We are at a great spot. You can see the entirety of Harpers Ferry down there. Sorry if my hand's a little shaky. Incredible. Gonna eat some food and some snacks I brought with me and then make my way back down to Harpers Ferry. Maybe go grab some lunch there. Just wanted to get some last good video before I take a hike back down the mountain. It's a nice part of the rock face here. Lets you see just how high up we are. That is incredible. One last look into Harpers Ferry before we head back down the mountain. Maybe get some lunch there. Ooh, that rock is moving. I stepped on a rock and it started moving. Alright, that is my cue to go back. Another spot on the rock face, more to the left of it. There is something else about this whole place. It's really just one of the landmarks of America. Just beautiful. Truly, one last look at this amazing place before we head right back down the mountain and back into that gorgeous little town of Harpers Ferry. Let's carry on. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tiny little snake right there moving along the ground. A little tiny snake. Quite the little guy. He's got a beautiful place all to himself. Wildlife is... If you didn't already know, the Harpers Ferry area was the site of a pretty great Civil War battle. There were up these mountains here about a 3-hour round hike up the mountains to the summit. There was some Civil War forts, and at one point they had made all their way down the mountain because they were ordered to retreat back to Harpers Ferry. And of course I read this on some of the placards that they had here, but it's amazing to think of thousands of soldiers in wool uniforms making their ways down these mountains. Incredible. I don't think I showed this on the way up, but you can see here, this is where the trail diverts. That way is the overlook where we just were, and up here will take you to the stone fort. All the way at the top you'll pass by some Civil War sites and different campgrounds and scenic overlooks, and apparently this sign says you'll pass by some charcoal earths as well. Very interesting. No restrooms or water along either trail. Good to know. You really see just how magnificent some of these trees are. This is just such a beautiful hike. It is worth it. Stop to get another great view of this on the downslope. You're almost done. Almost done. It's been about a 3-hour, maybe 2.5 hour endeavor. So really, Shenandoah is just a beautiful, beautiful lake, or river. It's been a walk. Another amazing shot of the Shenandoah. It's all about just living and loving the area you live in, seeing the sights around you. It's quite incredible. Had to get a shot right here. Look at those rocks and those rapids. Could go down there to get a closer look, but it's quite steep. Don't want to end up hurting myself. See how round some of those rocks are, ground away from years of erosion. May not show well on video, but from here you get an incredible sense of where we just were. All the way up there. What an amazing, amazing spot in nature. I think one of the placards said that was around 690 feet, something like that, 697 feet to be exact. The summit up there. It's definitely worth the hike. We have come to the end of the Maryland Heights Trail. You can see right below these train tracks where we just were, right in the center there. That was pretty amazing. Back in the actual town of Harpers Ferry again. Beautiful little town. Gonna find a spot to eat and call it a day. Got a seat here at this bar and grill called the Almost Heaven Bar and Grill. Waiting on our Reuben sandwich that I just ordered. Cannot wait. That was a long hike. Got myself a little bit of a different kind of Reuben sandwich and some potato chips and a nice cool Coke. What a great way to finish off this hike. Just half of my sandwich. This is a pretty good Reuben. It's a little different. They put some coleslaw on there, and the sauerkraut is fried. Looks like a fried patty of sauerkraut. And they have the, pastrami and Reuben bread and everything like that. Served with some, I chose the potato chips. It's a pretty good sandwich. This is here in Harpers Ferry. This is a good restaurant. Just got done at the Almost Heaven Pub and Grill. Gonna walk around some shops now and see the rest of what this town has to offer. And the Harpers Ferry Outfitters, looking at some of this great stuff they've got. Got all kinds of swag and gear, talking about Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, and stuff to help you on the trail. They got some walking sticks here and some good hats. I think I might get a good Harpers Ferry, West Virginia hat. Just got done at the Harpers Ferry Outfitters. Got myself a little keychain and a pin. I'll show those off at the end of the video. Now let's just keep walking down and see what other stores we can find. One of these kind of scenic facade buildings. This is a confectionery, an old candy store and cake store. Very interesting. And then they have a real candy store right over there. I think we'll go to that next. This is on the other side of the street from where I was. They have a lot more shops over here. Confectionary Store. You can see they have some very old trees. Here's some that they've made up from the 15 to 1700s. Sweets and treats that people used to eat a very long time ago. Very interesting. Got even more candies. Look at all that candy. Now some of this is of course from the modern era. Some of this is from the early 1900s. And some of it is from the late to early 1800s. We've got some handmade confections. See, 1920s to 1940s. Interesting. Early 1900s. See some sugar babies, sugar daddies. Charleston Chews. Milk Duds. Now if you've ever been up to Hershey World, you'll recognize some of this stuff. This is supposed to be the 1800s section. Circus peanuts, that's one of my least favorite candies. Very interesting. It's interesting to see even some candies that we're so used to nowadays had very early beginnings. Almost as old as the nation itself. Down the street, we got a bed and breakfast right here. Some other entrances to other bars and grills. Some of them span both sides of the street, so you can enter from either way. Blue Point Jewelry. I don't think I'll go in there, but very interesting if you like jewelry. Looks like they have a full wax museum here. Open. Oh, you can see someone right in the window there. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see, there's a shop up here. Mary Adams Accessories. Lots of stores, you know, meant for more women and stuff, but still just amazing things around here. There's even a pottery shop over there. You really get a look at some of these very old buildings. Amazing to think that some of these were the exact same as they are today, hundreds of years ago. View of the train station here. I think I'm going to make my way back to the bus depot and back to my car. Pretty much scavenge the whole town, and maybe we'll come back here and do another hike one day. Yeah, sounds this has been a great experience. Just some beautiful scenery, a nice quaint little town. Good time. I wanted to stop by this place. They have some very old foundations of a very old building. You can come in, walk around. They give you some plaques about things that might have occurred in this building. Records of the local house. It looks like this may have been a courthouse. Oh, records in the local courthouse. Tells about the building's occupants. So this building in particular, this one you see here, in 1751, Lord Fairfax grants 125 acres to Robert Harper. Yep. And you can see you can even see the outside of it right there. These are from 1862. This building has been around for quite some time. So you can definitely see the remnants of a very old fireplace there. Very interesting. It says 2 owners would have originally split the building. It seems like they're not splitting it anymore. And you can see where they split the building in half. There's two doors one door on either side, and this wall in between them, and you can see where this would have been. Very interesting. You gotta love history like this. What it took to, without any modern tools that they had, just a lot of basic hand tools that still built these wonderful structures, and definitely shows how incredible they were, because they're still here today. Kind of a pretty little alleyway here. Yeah. Alright, let's head back to the bus depot. I think when we come back here, we'll have to stop by each of these museums. They had a wax museum back there, they had an African American history museum back there, they have an industry museum. They're open. Don't really have time today to go through all these, but I think once we come back, we'll definitely take some time and check them out. Now we are heading back to the bus depot. On the bus back after a very full day. Stopped the bus, made it back to the visitor center, and back to where the car is. We're going to you got some little maps there, and see they have a little welcome station. Alright, let's get back to the car and head home. Made it back to my car. I wanted to show you guys what I picked up from the Harpers Ferry Outfitters. Picked up this nice kind of retro National Park keychain. And a really pretty little pin. I have a pin board at home, so I like to collect little interesting pins. What a nice little pin. These were both $6.95. I have a little bag for them. Awesome. Great, and thank you guys for joining me on this great adventure today we had, and there will be many more. Like I said, I bought an annual pass for the parking for Harpers Ferry, so I'll definitely come back down here and go do some more hiking, see some of the museums, and yeah, sounds like a plan. So see you guys in the next video.